Illegal trade in wildlife species is one of the largest organized crime markets in the world. It's a multi-billion-dollar market.
According to the UNODC, wildlife crime now ranks alongside human trafficking and drug dealing in terms of annual profit. Every year, customs services confiscate illegal wildlife products from endangered species. Some of them end up here, at the Natural History Museum in Vienna.
We frequently get material that was confiscated by the authorities, for example, at the airport here in Vienna. And sometimes we're asked to identify the specimens because they don't really know which species the object comes from. Those can be artifacts, carvings made of ivory, for example, but also trophies. Trophy hunting is a big market still, and so we are asked to test this and to identify the species, whether it's a legal one or an illegal one. And then sometimes, if it's an illegal one and it gets confiscated, sometimes we are asked if we want to keep the material for our collection.
We met Dr. Silke Schweiger, who showed us objects that have been confiscated at Vienna International Airport. These are mostly smuggled by criminal dealers, yet there are also passengers who buy wildlife products or souvenirs on their holidays. Customs officials have found bags made of crocodile skin, snakeskin shoes, and trousers made of pythons. The manufacturing of all these items is pure cruelty, causing immense suffering for the animals involved. For these sculptures, snakes are stretched by being forcibly pumped with water, nailed to a tree, and skinned alive afterwards. It's not about a single souvenir or a pair of shoes. Illegal wildlife trade is a global issue.
Actually, it's on the same level as the drug market or as human trafficking in terms of money that is generated at a global level.
So there's a misconception that wildlife crime is carried out by one hunter who's just hunting, when in reality, wildlife crime is a very elaborate scheme. It's well organized, and it's not an individual hunter. It could be an individual hunter actually taking the piece, but he's part of a bigger, a bigger group, and that's really the issue here. This is large-scale commercial trafficking, and the product is illegal. Well, it's hard to tell if it's legal or illegal if you are just a layman. If you're in the business, you understand. But for example, if you go to a market and you see a nice bottle with that's known as cobra wine in Asia, exotic piece, but clearly, a cobra encased in a bottle with water known as cobra wine is, should raise suspicion that something is not right here. Even though it would be a nice article to bring home, it's probably the best not to buy it. It's most likely sourced illegally, and it's most likely linked to some organization that is illegal. Maybe criminal, but chances are it's illegal.
There are many different types of wildlife in global seizures, with rosewood and elephants constituting the biggest parts. To better understand the markets, the most significant species in the seizure record were sorted by 7 large industrial sectors that make use of wildlife products.
We have been challenged, in particular in the past few years, with one particular species, which is called La Vaquita marina, which is a kind of dolphin. And we have been seeing how a particular crime taking place on and endangering a particular species like this one. We have come to a point in which human condition has exploited or overexploited what the resources that we are supposed to have and to keep for generations to come. We have already done enough harm, to the world in which we live in.
I think it's important that we try to find ways to recalibrate our connection with nature and see why it's important. The general public, also citizens, are getting a more important role in helping to collect data. This is what we call citizen science. In Austria, for example, there's a kind of system which has been set up which is also encouraging citizens to collect information, provide data on human-wildlife traffic interactions.
So the citizen collection of objects made of protected species, it's an opportunity for citizens to take action against wildlife crime, or by giving an object that they received or that they bought that is made of a protected species, or by sharing information, sharing this video, for example, to raise more awareness on why we should protect the species. If you bought in the past an object that is made of protected species that maybe was not protected at that time, or that you received it as a gift, you can offer it to the Natural History Museum for awareness-raising purpose in the future. Your objects will be used there to sensitize the next generation on biodiversity, the need for biodiversity, and why species should be protected.
So what's the bottom line advice on how we can help to stop the illegal wildlife trade?
There is a very easy one. Don't buy it. Don't collect it. Don't take it home.
As the old saying goes, once the buying stops, so does the killing.